Welcome to the Vision CreatHER podcast, from corporate to creator, with your hosts, Pamela Martino and Debbie Williams.
Okay, so welcome to another edition of Vision CreatHER podcast, and we are going to show our audience how to garden. So I have my friends and also my clients, Siobhan and Derek Bernard. He's going to walk us through the 1, 2, 3s.
We've always wanted to garden, rather my wife wanted to garden. And first we started in our apartment. We grew like little pots on the shelf, but it didn't really do anything. We said we wanted to get a house. And then we met Pam through a mutual friend. She's our realtor, and she helped us get our first house. When we got our first house, that opened up the floodgates for us to grow a garden in our backyard. And we started with one raised bed. We bought one raised bed, we didn't know what to do, how to start. We would just learn as we go. But if it wasn't for Pam, we wouldn't have got that start. So we want to thank her for that. So we've been growing for 4 years. We grew herbs from basil, rosemary, thyme. We grew tomatoes. We grew cucumbers. We grew zucchini. We grew watermelon. We grew like teas like lemon balm and lemongrass and peppermint teas. And we've grown all throughout the year. How we started was we started with a few. Then each year we just keep adding more and more and more.
Also, share about your journey to Africa.
One of the beautiful things about a network, right, is that you just constantly keep growing. So, my husband mentioned that we met Pam through a mutual friend. One of my good friends that I went to college with, shout out to Del State, he is huge into agriculture. So we kind of reconnected just randomly over just shared interests and faith and values on social media. And when we realized that we had so much in common, our families became best friends over the past several years. So they have a business based in California called, I think it was He Provides.
Yes.
It's a faith-based gardening. I think it's turnkey to kitchen. They would consult and they would literally just kind of like help neighbors within their community in California build out gardens and turnkey kitchens. So one of the things that interests us was getting started. I was finding a lot of love for houseplants, and I'm really good with houseplants, right? My husband's really good with the gardening stuff, the food, the crops, but the houseplants, that's my area. I started to take an interest into growing edible food. That's how we started in our balcony. And you can have a very successful garden on your balcony, windowsills, you can start wherever you are. And that was one of the things for us. And so we started there. That didn't turn into much, but we did learn a lot in that season. We learned how to seed properly. We learned about not only seeding, but we learned about soil composition. We learned about the maintenance and the cadence of actually growing from sprouting and seeds and greenhouses. That was our first greenhouse experience. So it's been a bit of a journey, and our children love it. DJ has his own garden bed in our garden, and he has his little strawberries and cilantros. And it's been like a family kind of pastime that has now taken its own life. Derek is known in our neighborhood as Farmer D.
Yeah, Farmer D, yeah.
They call him Farmer D, and constantly people are always reaching out to him to kind of get started and to kind of help out with some of their growing. And I think the type of climate we live in, it's just good to grow your own food. You don't know sometimes what you're diving into in the supermarkets, you know what I mean? There's so many different parties that are involved in our food, and so having control over what you eat, what your family eats, especially the vegetables and the produce and things like that, it's a great way to kind of get started and taking back your control as a person. So with that.
So, and then the family you met at Del State.
They are in Africa, yes.
They're in Africa. And, we are going out there in less than 3 weeks to check out some land that we purchased alongside with them, and we are going to be prepared to doing some agriculture out there. They're doing some commercial farming out there. So that's the long-term goal for our family. I'm going to explain the 4 stages of gardening. The first stage is seed. Everything starts from seed, like life starts from seed. Second stage is called germination. That's when a little green buzz grow through the soil. So the next stage after that is called transplant, which it will grow to about like this. These are called transplants. All that means that these are big enough and healthy enough to be transplanted from this little thing to a bigger pot or in the ground. And the 4th stage is harvest. Harvest is when the plants is ready to be pruned from the garden and you can eat it. Just let you know how it does work. So this is peppers, this is basil. You can plant them at the same time and they're gonna grow different days. And it's a term in gardening called today's harvest, which means that you can go out there and let's say, for instance, I'm gonna go back to the pepper. You'll see no peppers, and then you'll go sleep, wake up, and you'll see 5, 6, 7 peppers on here. That's how gardening works. It don't grow slow. Like you go, you leave and come back, and then boom, it blossoms. Like the babies could be this high, you go sleep, wake up, and it's this high. That's just how it works. Also with gardening, the more you prune it, the more it grows. Because it's saying, oh, I need more, I need to keep growing. So like that's why I'm going to introduce you to the 4 stages of gardening. And for those who don't know what's starting gardening, my suggestion is to start with transplant. Because when you start a transplant, you starting on third base if you understand baseball. So if you start on third base and you already halfway there and you see it grow to its harvest, you're going to be more excited for the win. And when you get the win and you keep getting more wins, you're going to want to say, hey, now it's time for me to grow from seed now because I already got enough wins in the game. Now I want to go back to the very beginning, and I'm going to do that. Label your plants.
Oh, yes.
Because even me, I plant stuff, I come back, I'm like, I don't know what's which. Hey everybody, this is Derek. Some people know me as Farmer D. I'm here at my first garden party and my first clients. I want to thank you, Pam and her friends. And we had
Stephanie and Amy.
Yes, and I showed them how to garden, how to start, and just start small and grow big. And I want to thank everybody for being in attendance, and you should be there for the next one. And I'm out.